I don't know if you can hear the music right now. I've got a jazzy bossa nova version of that reggae tune. Get up, stand up for your rights. Here I am in Brazil, and I have a bit of COVID trolling that I think you guys will thoroughly enjoy. So. Okay, so I am in Belo Horizonte, Brazil right now, the city where my father was born and raised, and I'm on my way soon to Brasilia, the city where I was born, and I'm here in a co-working spot right now. So expect there to be normal content during this time, but also some Brazil-specific content. For example, I'd like to be able to make it to the central market of this city to show some of the tobacco to you guys. You can go back to 2013 and find some videos of that same central market, which are pretty awesome. Before we get into this, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, press the bell button, and if you're into hearing me talk about what I'm into, and make sure you also join the Discord. The Discord is where the conversation continues. All right, so some COVID trolling between a government agency and a huge corporation. So if you're a sports fan, you may already be aware that last night or yesterday, Argentina and Brazil were scheduled to play a World Cup qualifier here in Brazil, and Anvisa, a health agency, stormed onto the field and interrupted the game for magic science COVID reasons.
A ver, ¿qué pasó? A ver. Se armó.
So good. So apparently, 4 Argentinian players failed to fill out their form correctly. It looks like they lied. They didn't state that they had been in England. So Britain is considered a high-risk place to come from by the Brazilian government, so you actually have to quarantine. Okay, so let me give you guys some context for a lot of this. First, you should know that COVID stuff is about the same level in the States as it is in Brazil, but obviously there are some different flavors involved. One of the most important ones is that state and city governments have been far more repressive than the federal government, so it's actually kind of flipped. The current president is sort of a Trump-style populist. The other thing to know is, well, you need to know about Globo TV. So at one point a few years ago, it's probably still the case, at any given moment, 80% of the televisions on in Brazil were on Globo. Even on cable, 60% of cable channels are owned by Globo. There's some competition with like Disney from HBO, but Globo completely dominates. They are, in fact, the most influential media company anywhere in the West. So within a given country, they're the most influential. I mean, that 80%, that's practically Chinese Communist Party levels of influence. You definitely see that reflected in society. What they push is what most people believe, and they push what you'd expect. They're MSNBC style, CNN style. They're the biggest news thing, but they're also a popular TV channel, right? There are morning shows, there are soap operas, etc. Okay. They have been obviously very strong in all that anti-federal government rhetoric. They are behind the use of the association of the word genocide and genocidist with the president. So this is with a sports connection. A little while ago, when the America's Cup came around, a very important and very popular competition between the countries of South America, hosted here in Brazil, Globo railed against having that tournament at all, right? We have 500,000 dead. How can we do this? How can you do this? Genocide. Really hammering the government and government agencies and calling for this tournament not to happen. Well, guess what? They didn't have the rights to that tournament. 2 of their competitors did. Now, the World Cup friendlies come around, and not a peep from Globo when Brazil hosts Argentina. They've got nothing to say. They're happy to show the game because they have the rights. Rampant hypocrisy, right? We've seen this. This one rule for me and another for thee thing, they know better. And it's not just government agencies, but private agencies, monopolies, powerful corporations like Twitter, like Facebook, like Globo, massively influential. Well, I think there was some trolling going on here. When I say I think, I confess, and I'm completely going off of a Brazilian YouTuber I follow her, an atheist libertarian, but you got to recognize quality when you see it, Anne Capsu. I'll link to the video below in case you're one of my Brazilian viewers. I know a lot of you guys hang out on this English language channel, so go ahead and subscribe to the guy. He's awesome. He posts several videos a day. Anne Capsu. He is of the opinion, and he has convinced me, and I'm going to pass it on to you, that Globo has been trolled. Tite, the Brazilian head coach, was absolutely furious as people milled about on the field. The government agency stormed onto the field 5 minutes into the game and shut the game down. And Chichi's yelling, "You could have done this days ago, you could have done this before the game." In a press conference afterwards, they had 72 hours to do that. Well, you know what? They definitely did. They knew they were going to storm onto that field before the game started. But they didn't. They got Globo. Globo started broadcasting the game. Yay, they get the ratings, they get the views, and only after they were fully committed to broadcasting the game did the agency storm out of the field and interrupt the game. I mean, coverage continued, but the coverage was of people milling around a field and of a stadium not emptying, but a game just not being played. Absolutely astounding, amazing stuff. And you know what? Let chaos reign when it comes to this stuff. Let these guys bite each other, attack each other. You know, there's something very Latin about this, you know, personal vendetta stuff, you know, coming from the government, coming from these major corporations, but let them eat at each other while we continue to resist. The more chaos there is, the better. The more people are having to confront the hypocrisy of others, their own hypocrisy, and even for the true believers in science magic, the possibility that they might have to re-examine their beliefs. I love it, and I hate Globo. You should hate Globo too, but of course you don't really know who they are. Just know that I am deeply satisfied that they got right now. The peace of Christ be upon you.
Aí sim é um homem de verdade, não é esses troços do grupo não, essas carcaças velhas, uó, fim de carreira.
Cadê você, profeta, autarquia? Hein? Pedrada no inferno, fala comigo aí, matador de demônio. Hein?